Welcome to our series, Moving America Forward. Each week we'll be focusing on America's entrepreneurs as they take us to new roads, new opportunities, new ways to fill the gaps left by today's failing companies. Our series will be looking at that and a lot more. So come with me and watch as the entrepreneurs of our nation move into the future.
And I'm Doug Llewellyn here in our studios in Los Angeles with our guest today. We're here from a company called Temple Inc., which is heavily involved in helping to regulate how traffic moves through cities large and small. You'll find out in a couple of minutes about all of that. I'd like you to meet our guests now. First, on my left, the CEO of the company, Blair Temple. On his left, Forrest Temple, who's the president, and Blake Temple, who's involved in sales and marketing. Gentlemen, it's a pleasure. Nice to have you with us.
It's great to be here.
You know, Blair, before we begin the formal interview, a little while ago, you had a chance to answer some questions from William Shatner. Let's take a quick look at a small portion of that now and see how it went, okay?
Okay.
Okay, let's watch.
I know that you're deeply involved in the technology field, but what are some of your advancements and how is it helpful to move America forward?
Mr. Shatner, it's hard to move America forward when you're sitting in a parking lot that's supposed to be on a roadway. What we do is work alongside designers and agencies responsible for roadways and assist the implementation and application of critical technologies for the transportation industry. This technology helps Americans reach their destination on time, provides them with real-time information to the folks that maintain and operate the traffic intersections and the systems. We're also helping emergency vehicles save critical seconds while making the roads safer for everyone. That, Mr. Shatner, is how we are helping move America forward.
You know, that was really very fascinating. I'm intrigued by what you do. Give me a general description of the company. What is it you do?
Okay, well, basically, we sell, service, and support traffic signal equipment through the Southeast.
Right.
That could be selling from a traffic signal, a traffic controller cabinet, a dynamic message sign you see over the interstates, to cameras. But we go beyond that. We also support and service what we sell. We work along with government agencies, consultants, and contractors that works on what can we provide to help the agency fulfill what their problems are. And then after everything is installed, we support it thereafter too.
You know, it's an interesting story. The company really, I mean, it's been around for a long time, hasn't it? Why don't you tell me, Forrest, what's the story of the company? How far back does it go?
Well, it goes back 60 years, 1954, and we started in Gadsden, Alabama, and we started as an electrical contracting company.
Right. And
moved the business to Decatur in 1965, and we've been there ever since.
It's a full family operation. We've got, how many generations are right here? Is it three?
Yeah, well, there's two generations.
Right, two generations.
My grandfather and father started after the Korean War.
Okay.
And then my father moved it to Decatur in '65. Then after my brother and I completed college, we started taking leadership roles into the business. And now these guys have finished college, and this is the fourth generation and taken over the leadership, like Forrest is the president.
It's an amazing story. As I understand it now, I know you're based in Alabama, in Decatur, but you really work throughout the South primarily,
yes,
right?
Southeast, yes, sir.
And you do projects in cities like Atlanta, Chattanooga, and all over. Tell me a little bit specifically about, I don't know, let's talk about specific vehicle infrastructure. That's part of what you're involved in. Tell me about that, Forrest.
Well, vehicle infrastructure, we've got a product out now that's kind of it's a mobile device. It can be put into any vehicle. It can track vehicles in real time. And so it can be put in an emergency vehicle, or it can be put in a police car.
Right.
And so it's really the first pure example of vehicle to infrastructure.
Okay, and it connects with traffic signals, I guess? Is that how it works?
At the intersection level, yes,
At
sir.
the intersection level. This is something also that's used to help emergency vehicles, isn't that right?
That's correct.
What does it do? It gives them a green light as they're feeding through traffic, clogged traffic?
Right. Well, this device has, it combines cellular, radio, and GPS technology into one one device. And so
Right.
2 miles back, you could say you're an EMS vehicle. 2 miles back, you can go ahead and push the traffic queue through the intersection. And instead of cars moving over to the left or the right side of the road, you're actually pushing traffic through rather than trying to make way for the vehicle.
That sounds pretty interesting. You have a term, big city, or rather smart city, big data. Define that. What does that mean?
Okay, well, I guess I'll let the young guys answer that. You know, back when I was doing it, it was electromechanicals, pot switches, and fuses, and these guys are bringing us to the
It's
smart
totally
city.
different now, right?
Very much so.
So right now, big data is a trend. Our customers are typically traffic engineers. They want a lot of data.
Right.
And so we're able to give that to them. But the Smart City Supervisory Platform is kind of a way for use one, it's a software system, so it's one login to be able to monitor all of the devices in your city. So it makes traffic engineers' job very simple.
Blake, tell me when you go to, when clients call you, what do you guys bring to the table? You have so much to offer. You're in sales and marketing. What kind of systems and things, how do you explain to them what you offer?
Well, there's a lot of different systems that we could offer to them, but whenever we go meet with them, we try to figure out what's the issue they have at hand and
Right.
what product in our inventory that we have can we use to fit in to help them with their needs.
Because as I understand it, you have products from like 30 different major manufacturers. And what you then are tasked with doing is figuring out which one of these various systems is appropriate for what the task at hand is, right?
Yes, different cities and different counties have different needs. And sometimes the same intersection requires different technology to do detection. You know, like the more information you give the controller, the better decision it can make to give people a green light for the right amount of time. And so, you know, you can use different technologies at one intersection.
Tell me about some of the various things that are really going on now in traffic control. I mean, in a city like we're in Los Angeles, there are these big billboard signs on the road that tell you, on the freeways that tell you, you know, if you want to go the next 10 miles, it's going to take you 32 minutes to get there. Or if you want to go, you know, if you have to go further to the heart of downtown Los Angeles, it may take you 50 minutes to get there. How does all of that work?
Well, we feel like you mentioned 30 manufacturers that we represent. We've got a great arsenal of suppliers that we can work with. Our distribution network is built around companies who know the industry.
Right.
So when we have a customer reaches out to us with something that may be a little custom, we've got those tools being our suppliers in our tool shed. So it may be what you mentioned, which is more like a travel time study,
Right.
you know, 32 minutes to get to destination X, or it could be a wrong way collision avoidance, where you all of a sudden are getting a lot of vehicles that are entering on the off ramp to an
A
freeway. Yes, sir.
That's a key issue. I was going to ask you about that, helping prevent drivers going onto a freeway, you know, wrong way on the freeway. What exists to help prevent that?
Well,
Or is it a warning after they get on there?
well, it's kind of both. You've got detection zones set up to kind of say, okay, zone A and zone B were hit, but then there's also a verification to where that triggers a safety alert.
Right.
In visual, and it's kind of like tier 1 is what we call it. And then after they pass that safety alert, it's kind of the point of no return. And so we're creating a link to the traffic management center for them to know we got a major problem.
The other thing I understand, you have a vehicle and bike detection system. That's kind of coordinated a little bit of what we've been talking about. What does that mean? You can take that.
More and more cities are coming up with bike lanes, and they cross the road at different rates than a car would, than
Right.
a vehicle would.
Right.
So it's important to know if there's a bicycle that needs timing is in their bicycle lane.
Right.
Well, we have detection in ground and out of ground that can pick up these bicycles and make sure they get the traffic movement they want.
But by vehicle detection, these are systems to tell you how many cars are on a freeway or are heading for an intersection at the
Yeah.
same time? Right?
With that, we can get, how fast they're going. We can know what kind of classification, if they're a car, truck, large truck, so we can classify them and we can see if they're going the wrong way. So there's a lot of information that we can get out there about the vehicles to make better decisions at the intersection or in the freeway ramps to move vehicles forward, get the most we can.
Now that's pretty fascinating. I know also you just did a big project in Atlanta. What was that about?
Yes, sir. It was more of a systems project. It involved 3 municipalities, so 3 cities within Metro Atlanta, and it was along one state route corridor where there were a lot of problems. And so it was a complicated project. It was almost 40 intersections, yeah. And so we basically did a lot of planning, a lot of service work in the middle of the project, and then afterwards it's really bared some fruit for us.
So in other words, traffic is moving through that area now much more efficiently than
Yes,
it was before?
Our customers have been satisfied. They do definitely see a difference.
I gather really what comes down to it, you really are able to provide everything from traffic lights to camera systems on the freeways and at intersections. There's so many different technologies available. You offer all of that, right?
Yes.
It's a big deal what you do, and the bottom line is, of course, you're helping people move through areas much less crowded and get through faster.
Yeah, faster, safer is what we hope.
So Blake, tell me, is there anything dramatically exciting coming up in this field, helping traffic move faster through cities?
Yes, we think that vehicle-to-vehicle is going to be a big part of our future. And right now what we have established is vehicle-to-infrastructure. So once vehicle-to-vehicle becomes mainstream, we already have our products established in the intersection, so it'll be a lot cheaper for our customers to get that implemented in their cities.
That sounds exciting. I'm sure everybody will be happy if that comes to pass pretty soon. Gentlemen, thank you. You're in a very interesting field, to say the least. We appreciate it.
Well, thank you.
Thanks so much.
Now it's my honor to present this prestigious award to the executives of Temple Inc. for the outstanding work their company is doing to help keep moving America forward. Forrest, I'll hand this to you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's a great honor to receive this, and on behalf of our employees at home in Decatur, Alabama, we thank you very much.
You're very, very welcome.
That's it for another edition of Moving America Forward. I'm Bert Tenzer. Join us again as we continue to bring you the entrepreneurs who move America forward.
I'm William Shatner, and for all of us at Moving America Forward, thanks for watching.